Why are monofilaments so expensive, and are they worth it? This is not a debate on what's better and what's worse, what's good and what's bad. I am just going through the things that I think make this cap worth the money that they do cost. Obviously, we all want to pay as little as possible for everything on earth. Unfortunately, some things you just have to put your money where you think it's worth it. For me, that is monofilament wigs, and I want to explain why a monofilament does cost a little bit more than like a regular lace front. I'm wearing what's called a monofilament, and monofilament is essentially the type of material that they use on the wig to make it so that the hairs, instead of looking like little knots, they look more like hair follicles growing out of your head. So you can see here on this one, it looks like little hair follicles growing out of my skin instead of like an actual knot. Most people are not going to be right up in your face like this anyways. Like if you're super concerned about that, that's one reason that you would want to lean more towards a monofilament. Let me take this off and go through the cap construction. A lot of people think the hair fibers are what they're paying for, and honestly, there may be some wigs out there that the fibers are a little bit better, but for a majority of heat-friendly synthetic wigs, the fibers are very similar, maybe not the same, but they're very similar in a way that they are all going to need maintenance. They're all going to fray at the end, eventually. Gonna tangle if you're not careful. So that is not what you are paying for. You are paying for the cap construction. Okay, so let's take this off. Let me put another wig on. That's so much better. All right, let's flip this one inside out. So this particular cap is hand tied. There are certain caps that are just monofilament that they're not hand tied, and I'll show you what that looks like too. But this is like the Rolls Royce of wigs, is the hand tied caps. And this is exactly why. Some of them will have a little bit of wefting in the back. My personal preference is to have a little bit of wefting because it helps with the shape of the wig. And then everything above that is where somebody with their little fingers tied all of these individual hairs on this wig. So it makes it flow a little bit more natural. It makes it look a little bit more natural. It lays a little bit more natural. So you're getting essentially what you pay for. The cap on this one, there's a lot of stretch, and you can see these little holes. So it allows a lot of ventilation too. Now, the hand-tied caps, for me, they fit like a glove. Because of the material and how they're made, it's so comfortable. Like, I can wear these all day long and not even feel like I'm wearing a wig at all. And then the top, this is where you're going to get into that monofilament space here. So this one in particular has what's called a double mesh monofilament. So if I were to separate this a little bit, if you guys can see, there's two layers here. This particular cap is great for somebody that maybe doesn't have any hair. It is supposed to be more comfortable on the scalp, on the skin. Okay, less irritating. And then up here, you're going to get that. It's still considered lace front, but it is a monofilament lace. So it's what's called welded. And you can see a little bit of my makeup there, and it just means that the way the hairs are placed, again, it just looks like more follicle-y versus knotty, if that makes sense. Okay. And this one that I'm wearing is a monofilament as well. So I'll show you this once I'm done. Personally love when the caps have the Velcro adjusters in the back. Again, it's just a comfort thing. And then this one has silicone ear tabs. So most wigs that you find, unless it's hand tied, you will not see a silicone ear tab. These are really nice because they just are less irritating. And it helps that side of the wig kind of form to your face and lay flat. It gives it a little bit of weight so it's not flapping all over in the wind. The hand tied, obviously, those are going to be the most expensive because of the intricate work that goes into constructing the wig. The one that I'm wearing is also a monofilament. It is not hand tied. It has a center monofilament part, and I will show you in a second, but I want to show you what it looks like on my head first. This one is a little bit lower in price, but still more than like a regular lace front would be because of that monofilament lace. So the fibers are very similar to a regular lace front. They're still heat friendly. synthetic. It's not human hair. But when I get really close, can you see how that looks like follicles growing out of my scalp? That is what you're paying for. Now, when I take this off, you can see all of that monofilament lace space. See that this one is not hand tied. Okay, this is what's called open wefting. It again allows a lot of ventilation. It's gonna make it a little bit more affordable because it's machine made and not like hand tied. This is why they cost a little bit more, because they're going to look a little bit more realistic. For me, this is where my confidence lies, is in a monofilament. I just feel so much more comfortable and confident walking out of the house when I don't have to worry about if somebody is going to notice the knots at my hairline. More than likely, most people are not staring that close anyways. They're not like, is she wearing a wig? Like, most people aren't even going to think twice about it. They're more concerned about themselves than your hair or your hairline. So everybody's different and everybody has their personal preference. You just have to find yours, and essentially that is what you are putting your money into, is the cap construction and how it's made. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or the chat. More than happy to address them.